Welcome to the verdict zone. If you're just looking for a quick rant about clueless in-laws, this probably isn't the video for you. But if you want the full story of a woman whose boyfriend's family reduced her entire identity to a single cuisine, and a boyfriend who then blamed her for not being grateful enough, you need to keep watching. This story isn't just about a bad dinner. It's about the patronizing assumption that someone's ethnicity is their only definition of home. It's about the explosive fallout that happens when good intentions collide with a lifetime of microaggressions. The facts, as we'll lay them out, reveal a deeply tragic misunderstanding that spiraled out of control. So, what happened? Let's break it down. Our main character is a Chinese-Malay woman, born and raised right here in the UK. She's been dating a white British man for a while, and the time has finally come to meet his parents. This isn't just any meet and greet, it's a weekend trip up north to their beautiful, wealthy farmhouse. The stakes are high. Dinner time arrives. The mother, who we learn is a celebrated chef, unveils the meal. It's an elaborate, multi-course Chinese feast. You can almost feel our protagonist's internal sigh. It's the classic ethnic food trope. She's seen this movie before. Someone finds out your heritage and immediately thinks the only way to connect with you is through what they assume is your native food. It's a box she's been put in her whole life, but it's the first meeting, so she decides to be polite and just brush it off. It's a kind gesture, after all. Then comes the moment it all starts to unravel. The mother, beaming with pride, asks the seemingly innocent question, "So, what do you think?" Instead of a simple compliment, our protagonist responds with a defensive edge, questioning why they chose to cook Chinese food. The mood shifts instantly, and that's when the boyfriend drops a key piece of information. He explains that a while back, he'd asked her what food she missed from home, and she'd mentioned her mother's cooking. He thought he was being thoughtful by passing this on to his mom. This revelation hangs in the air, but it's too late. The father, sensing the tension and likely feeling his wife's efforts were being rejected, decides to intervene, and his words are like throwing gasoline on a fire. He says they were just trying to make her feel welcome. In a foreign country, that one word foreign changes everything. Suddenly, the beautiful farmhouse, the expensive meal, it all feels tainted. The air is thick with stale assumptions. For our protagonist, a woman born and raised in the UK, being called a foreigner in her own country is the ultimate trigger. It's not just a clumsy comment, it erases her entire identity, her sense of belonging. The insult wasn't in the food, it was in the word that implied she was an outsider, a guest in the only home she's ever known. She can't take it anymore. She gets up and leaves the table. The dinner is over. She ends up sleeping in the car, unable to stay under that roof. Her boyfriend comes out, trying to make peace, but the damage is done. He doesn't understand the depth of the hurt his father's word caused. The drive home the next day is a war zone. The hurt and anger erupt into vicious name-calling from both sides. He calls her ungrateful and cruel. She calls him a coward for not defending her. It gets ugly, personal, and deeply damaging. He refuses to apologize for his family or his own words unless she apologizes first for her reaction at dinner. She's left questioning everything. Were his parents racist? Was her anger justified? And was his reaction, his failure to have her back, a fundamental betrayal of their relationship? So, let's deconstruct this dinner disaster. We have to look at intention versus impact. The mother put in a huge amount of effort. She's a skilled chef, and she acted on information from her son to try and do something special. Does that good intention outweigh the predictable, othering impact of serving someone ethnic food as a welcome gesture? For many people of color, this is a textbook microaggression, a constant reminder that they are seen as different first and foremost. Then there's the foreign country bomb. This is less ambiguous. When does a clumsy attempt at empathy become an outright erasure of someone's nationality? Calling a British citizen a foreigner in Britain isn't just clumsy. It's a denial of their identity and belonging. It plays into a harmful narrative that non-white British people are perpetual immigrants, no matter how many generations their family has been here. And what about the boyfriend? Where did he fail? Should he have prepared his parents better? Explaining that while she misses her mom's cooking, making Chinese food for her might feel like a stereotype. Should he have stepped in and defended her the moment his father said foreign country? Or was his biggest failure the vile retaliation in the car? His inability to see past his own family's hurt feelings to understand the lifetime of racism that fueled her reaction is a massive red flag. Finally, let's look at her response. Given a history of dealing with these microaggressions, was her defensive reaction and walking out a proportional response? Was it a necessary defense mechanism, Or was it an ungracious overreaction to a well-meaning, if clumsy, effort? She walked in expecting a problem, and when a version of that problem appeared, she reacted with sharp edges instead of soft diplomacy. So, what's the verdict? In this case, it's a clear everyone sucks here. This is a tragedy of miscommunication and unmet expectations. The parents were clumsy, and the father's foreign country comment was undeniably offensive, whether he intended it to be or not. However, our protagonist went into that dinner primed for a fight. She reacted to the food before knowing the full context that her boyfriend had a hand in it, and her response was immediately hostile, attacking what was, on the surface, a genuine high-effort gesture. But the biggest asshole here has to be the boyfriend. His failure to mediate, his lack of empathy, and especially his horrific name-calling during the argument, were catastrophic. He didn't just fail to be a good partner. He actively destroyed the bridge between them. Everyone failed. The parents offended, she overcorrected, and he nuked the entire relationship from orbit. When you're treated like a stereotype, the most powerful rebuttal isn't always immediate confrontation. Sometimes, graciousness can be a weapon. It can expose the clumsiness of the assumption, leaving the burden of awkwardness right where it belongs with the person who made it. But could this have been salvaged at the dinner table? What should she have said instead? What could the boyfriend have done differently in that moment? Let me know your diplomatic solutions in the comments below. Thanks for watching The Verdict Zone. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into communication breakdowns and the search for common ground.